Today we are reviewing a recipe from glutenfree-grain-free.com.au for their Almond Chia Seed Bread. In this video you can expect to see how the bread was made and our overall impressions. Let's get started. Preheat the oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Soak 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in 30 milliliters of water whilst preparing your dry mix in a bowl. Be sure to stir the seeds into the water and make sure none are sticking to the sides. Leave it on the side until it is a gel-like consistency, which usually takes about 10 minutes. Add 1 cup of almonds to a food processor and blend it until it is the consistency of breadcrumbs. Alternatively, you can buy pre-made almond meal from your local health food store or supermarket. Once it is the desired consistency, measure out 1 cup of the almond meal and put it aside. Sift 3/4 of a cup of arrowroot and 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda into a bowl. Add the almond meal and salt and mix well. Use a whisk to combine the dry ingredients to help break up any lumps and distribute the ingredients evenly. Add 3 eggs, the soaked chia seeds and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Combine everything until there is no lumps. You should be stirring for about 1 minute. Pour mix into a baking tin lined with non-stick baking paper. It is important to note that this is a small loaf and won't rise like traditional bread, so you need to use a small baking mold to force the rise. We did this by shrinking the size of the baking tin. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes until the bread is firm to the touch and bounces back when lightly pressed. The top will be golden in colour and firm to the touch. Remove bread from the oven and turn out onto a cooking rack. This recipe also allows you to do a big loaf. All you need to do is double the mix and bake in a loaf tin or a 20 cm or smaller cake tin lined with non-stick baking paper. Adjust the cooking time to 45 to 50 minutes if cooking a double mix. This loaf is dairy-free, gluten-free and grain-free and perfect for the diabetic, paleo or vegetarian lifestyles. And now it's time for our overall review and impressions section. Let's start with difficulty. The ingredients list isn't too long and most paleo goers should have all of the items within their pantry. It's pretty easy with minimal setup and the only problem is finding a baking dish to force the loaf to rise. So for difficulty we're giving this 4 out of 5 steaks. For the time category, the prep time was only 15 minutes, but this was due to us making our own almond meal instead of buying it. Cooking time for us took 25 minutes. The only time-consuming part of this recipe is the cooking time, so overall, for time, we are giving it 5 out of 5 steaks. And now for the most important section, taste, which is a little bit of a difficult one because it's a very dense bread, more so than any normal wholemeal loaf. We found that we could mask this a bit by cutting the slices a bit thinner. There is also a slight aftertaste of bicarb which wasn't pleasant and could be because the almonds don't produce an overwhelming almond taste. So for taste, overall we are giving this 2.5 steaks out of 5, with an overall score of 3.5 steaks out of 5. We've also gone on to make a few slight changes to this recipe and we'll try it out for you guys in a later video. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, leave us a comment on how you found the bread and also subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next time.